Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are looking at the Cannes Film Festival outfits. All right. So beautiful gowns. I always notice like celebrities really get luxurious for this. You know, there's not too much wild outfits. It's a little bit more elegant. Do you get that vibe too?
I get that vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't know how to express it, but it seems a little bit more elegant of a style than like a music festival. Not like...
Well, sometimes it becomes very obvious that they're trying to outdo each other. But in this festival, it just feels like they're trying to look amazing. And that's kind of it.
It's almost like Met Gala, but not as intense. Like you won't get like the crazy long gowns or things like that, but you'll get more like elegant styles.
And interestingly, the designers for Cannes feel to me like they are more committed in making their wearers look amazing rather than making their designs look amazing. So maybe they know that they won't get the kind of exposure at Cannes that they might get at other places, so they're not going over the top.
Now we're going to be going over some looks of what people wore and then how we could have adjusted a little bit. And then also we have some really great looks that just knocked it out of the ballpark. I have one of them you will love. So stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe. Now, first up, we have Camille. All right. So she wore this like very elegant black gown. But the thing is, we have some light hair. She did have that heavy black liner around her eyes to help bring a little bit more contrast up to your eyes.
It was not enough.
You're right. It was not enough. There wasn't, maybe I do you see how like her hair has like the roots? Maybe if she did more of a middle part and her roots are dark, that could have helped. But because of the side slicked hair thing, it covers that darkness up. So there's nothing, she's very bottom heavy.
To balance.
Yes.
Remember, when you're talking about your colors and what you're wearing, you want to balance from here on down. You want things to be kind of proportionate and balanced. Right. And there's no better way to say it. And when you are wearing, let's say that you just go off the rails and you decide you're going to wear black because you want to. We're all about that, right?
Right.
But you have to make sure that you've got something going on up here. If you're light blonde like her, fair skin, kind of everything very ethereal above that black line, you want something to bring you back into the picture.
I was going to say, we get a lot of comments of people that are always like, can you tell us what their season is? Now, right here, I don't know what like her normal hair color is, what her normal style is, but right here with the blonde hair swept over like that, there's warmth to her hair. You can see how much more golden it goes in this green color that you're talking about. But her season would be a spring, and it would probably be, if we remove, I have to like remove the black eyeliner. She does have a little bit more depth in her brows, so she's not light. She could be warm. I don't know her skin tone, but
in this photo, because we have to go with what we see in the photo, she's got very warm cheeks.
Yeah.
And her eyes look green. They look like a light green to me. So, I think she could be kind of borderline warm spring. Yes. Because she can rock this color, and that would be a good color for a warm spring.
She could be soft, but we need more details about her to really get into like the weeds.
Calibrated and so forth.
Right. Like what if there's a lot of warmth showing here? So we would really have to get into the weeds to give you a full 16 palette, 24 palette system.
But speaking of weeds, one thing we want you to look at is compare her in the black to the green, and look at the color of her skin. Now, when we do these, we do not change that underlying photo whatsoever. We don't touch it. And so one of the things we want you to be able to see is in this photo, what changes does color make to her in this photo. And you'll see her cheeks look much more
peachy.
Flushed. Yeah, peachy.
Right.
She looks a little pale in the black dress. And we always say, if you're not the right season, black will wash you out.
Like almost graying you, making you look a little tired.
And washing you out, part of it means that it strips you of color, like your blush or whatever. Even if you look at her lips, even though they're lightly done, they have a little more color in the green. Then I want to draw your attention to the area under her chin, because that's such a telltale spot. If you notice, she has a lot of gray happening under here in the black dress versus kind of a skin tone, beigey, browny kind of thing happening under her chin in the green dress. What we want is no gray, and we want to see your color. So the black dress just in our view didn't get it done. I mean, shape was fantastic, and the fit was great, but color-wise, it didn't do it.
I was going to say, we love a little bit of color, so if we're always going to prefer a color over black unless somebody really just nailed it. But she could have done like a brighter lip, more jewelry.
I beg to differ with you.
Okay.
Because I know you and I know me, and we are big fans of black on the right season.
Yes, but we're also big fans of figuring out how to make it work.
True. So we can't say we don't love black.
Yes. All right, next up we have Victoria here. Again with the springs. She has a lot of intensity around the eyes. I would definitely put her into a spring cat, but we're changing the hair, so this is going to change. So she has a very warmish platinum.
She's got a very warm blonde, the yellow blonde going on, and she wore a very cool pink dress.
Right.
And that offended my sensibilities because the dress made her look brassy, made her hair look brassy.
Right.
And I don't think that was very flattering in this scenario. So just for fun, we didn't change the dress. We adjusted her hair. Like, imagine she had just done a purple rinse on her blonde hair.
Yeah.
Look at how much better everything flows together when her hair is devoid of that yellow. And how much better it works with this color pink.
You know what's crazy? Look at her hair or her lip color. Look at her lip color with the golden blonde versus the cool ash blonde. It changes from warm to cool. When you go back and I'm looking at the two right now. It's unbelievable how her lip color looks peachy on one side, but then cool on the other side. So I love it. I love color. And I do understand that all the celebrities here are not wearing the shades. So obviously if they were wearing the right shades, the light, the reflections, the photography would look a little bit more of harmony. So we understand, this is just what we can do for right now. Obviously we can't say, hey, change your hair, change your dress color, and let's do a before and after.
I'm sorry. What is important to note is how much of this is based on what we see with our little rods and cones versus what may or may not be there. In other words, if you look at the things that we pointed out in the first dress when she went from black to green, her skin tone changed because of the way you and I are viewing it. She didn't change anything. This is just us looking at something surrounded by particular colors. And the same is true of the second one. When we changed her hair, how we viewed her changed. And we viewed her in a more flattering light because she was in the right color. It's amazing.
All right, now I might embarrass myself, but is this Lais?
Lais.
So I might be embarrassing myself. If anybody does know, can you leave it down in the comments to let us know? All right, so she wore this very cool yellow, bright, bold gown.
Lemon, I would say.
Yeah.
Kind of lemon.
It's very lemony, actually. Now, you can kind of see she has depth, she has warmth to her as well. What would happen if we shifted her into something like a yellow with depth and a little bit of warmth to it as well? You get a warmer overall skin tone. And she did pull back her hair, so hair isn't as big of a determinant here. So we now can see her skin tone. Look at, and remember, the color is just laid on top of the photo. It's not like she switched to this dress. Look at her like chest area. It goes so gray in that lemon yellow and then flips to be even warmer. It's just amazing.
And it's all an optical illusion.
Right.
That's what we're trying to say. She didn't change. We surrounded her photo with a better color, and what we are looking at changes. You know, she gets healthy looking color in her arms, in her cheeks. Look at the difference in the color of her cheekbones when we go from the lemon yellow to the I'm going to call it orangina, kind of, a little bit more orange.
Like a marigold kind of.
Yeah. But she gets additional color in her cheeks. Her lip tone becomes healthier looking. It's just amazing. And, you know, what little bit of a tweak to say, you know, I'd rather have this color than this color.
Now, is this the perfect color for her? No, but it gets us somewhere in the general right area. Oh, you know what? Did we do the color? Yes, we did the analysis for her. What about, I'm going to call her Lais. Her season, I believe, she might be deep neutral, but I can't. Her eyes are. Let me see.
Okay, dark that I would caution everyone on is doing that analysis with no hair.
Yeah,
It's so.
Yeah, strictly what we're looking at, she might have like, you know, warm brown hair and we can't tell. She might have jet black hair and we can't really tell.
So it's nearly impossible to do it. You know, if we were just doing it on her eyebrows and skin tone, she's definitely soft in a deeper way.
Right, like in like a deep autumn or something in that category. Or, but if she has the darker hair, that could shift. So based off what we see, I see the depth, but I'm not totally sure without
we're not going to stand behind that.
Right.
We need more stuff.
All right, now I have to show you. Okay, this has to be one of my favorite looks ever. I know this is crazy to say, and that lives up to a lot, but Claire here in this pink, come on.
She's fabulous. And I was doing some of these and going through some of these, and I felt like I was picking on this icy pink. It's not really an icy pink. No. I would say it's more of a palest peach ever.
Yeah, okay.
It's got that peachy vibe, but it's also got some satiny peachy thing going on. Mm-hmm. And this whole thing is just fabulous. Summer. You know, she's definitely a summer.
Oh, yes. Let's see if I can get enough of her eye color. Oh, it looks like maybe a gray blue eye color. Yep. She definitely warmed up her skin tone a bit here, but it's still, because, you know, you talked about that light peach. There was enough there, the neutrality of that. It just works so well. Her blush color, again, looks a little bit neutral. Her lip color does seem, it could have gone a little bit softer, but it's perfect. It's still great. Like I can't complain. The diamonds,
it's a balanced look, you know, head to toe.
Yes. And then we also have Olivia here.
Speaking of balancing your look,
this is what we talk about when we talk about clarity, baby, right here. Yes. The jet black hair, and it's even sleeked, so it brings even more clarity. The makeup, the brows, the lip, it's all so clear. The sharp lines, the everything about it is just perfect again. So perfect.
Absolutely terrific. And I think she's got an undergarment, or not an undergarment, but a lining on this dress that's black, so that when she walks, you see hints of that popping through. So head to toe, black, like
the little slit.
Then red lip calling down to the red dress, and then that little sliver of black down below. It's fabulous.
Man, even her jewelry, is that diamonds? Like, it's so perfect, matches with her clutch. And wow. Man, you get excited when you see things like this. I know we do.
They're spectacular.
Yes.
And this is our goal, for each and every one of you. By the time you feel like you've absorbed all color class has to offer, then every color decision you make is going to be at this level.
Right. Now, if you want to know what your seasonal color analysis is, the link to our color portfolios are down in the description below. If you want to reach us on social media, Patreon, everything is linked. So we hope to see you here in our next video. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our
Soon.
next videos.